Hi everybody, it's Paul again from Ballistic Blood Bullets with a show today that I'm going to dedicate to Tyler and Sarah, who are Good, Bad, Unusual channel, as everybody will know, and if they don't know, you jolly well should, and I highly recommend anybody that hasn't discovered them yet to go on over to their channel right away and check them out. They are both very cool people. What I want to do today with this video is actually split it into two, and as I say, really is a sort of thank you and a dedication to Good, Bad, Unusual. So first of all, what I want to do is thank Tyler. Recently he did a show, one of his updates, that showed a set of films from a director from Japan that I have to confess I'd never actually heard of before, and immediately needed to do some research into it. And we're looking at that set at the moment, and it's by Japanese director Hiroshi Teshigahara. And he actually has made some incredible films. As I say, I haven't actually seen any yet, but I'm looking very much forward to diving in and looking at these three particular films in this set, which are Pitfall, Woman in the Dunes, and The Face of Another. And Japanese director Hiroshi Teshigahara directed 17 movies, no less, between 1953 and 1992, until the director sadly died at the age of 74 in 2001. But he won many awards and accolades in Japan for his filmmaking. And also he was very much noticed by the world cinema by the Oscars, and he was nominated for an Oscar in 1966 for Woman in the Dunes. But as I say, here we have the set, and before I just continue with this, as I say, the second part of this video is going to be my sort of little sort of thank you and tribute to both Tyler and Sarah, with my take on Good, Bad and Unusual show as a little bit of fun, and hopefully introducing three films to them that they may not have seen before. So we'll have a little bit of fun with that, the second part of this video. But here we're looking, as I say, at Hiroshi Teshigahara's films. And what is immediately quite cool is that the set itself, as we know here in the sort of Western world, our movies sort of come from this side, so from left to right, and that's how we write. But in Asia, they actually go with their written word from right to left, and that is, I think, a neat little touch for this box, which opens up from the right to the left, and it's obviously on the Criterion label, so we know that we're getting quality. And what we have is a nice set of these slimline DVDs, and this is the supplements, all in very nice fold open, almost like sort of book editions. And they all are very, very nice indeed. Before we get to the films, just also with the set, there's a little booklet, or quite a thick booklet actually. Not the biggest of the Criterion books as such, they do thicker volumes, but this is very concise and tells us all about the director and his works and his films, and a very nice addition to this Criterion set. So there we have it, that's the little booklet that comes with it. And just to take you through now the films themselves, and start with Pitfall, which is one of his earlier films. It's made in 1962, and it's as I say, I haven't seen these films, but I've done some research on them, and that's just whetted my appetite even more, and really truly looking forward to diving in and watching these films. But Pitfall, 1962, as I say, is a documentary-styled fantasy about lost souls and daily trials and tribulations, and it focuses on a penniless miner who is seeking work. And he arrives in a small village with his young son, and proves literally that the village is a ghost town. It's a case of where the real and the surreal cross over, and there's lots of spooky imagery, and I understand a guy in a white suit and white gloves, and there's a murder mystery that surrounds what's happening in the town. But very much a surreal film from the director. Next to look at, we have Woman in the Dunes. Now, Woman in the Dunes is the film of the director that was nominated for an Oscar. And this is made in 1964, and it revolves around a Tokyo-based entomologist who seeks out insect specimens in a small seaside village. And he loses track of time, and the locals there sort of take him to one side and suggest that he stays the night. And he's taken into a house that is located at the bottom of a sand pit, which sounds rather unusual. But access to this house, into the sand pit, is only by ladder. And what happens is that he spends the evening there, and the next morning arises, only to find that the ladder is no longer there, and he's trapped down in this house, in this sand pit, seemingly all alone. But there is another there with him, and that is a woman who is the lady of the house. But the story tells that the lady has lost her husband and child, who were killed, and rather creepily we're also told that the husband and child, both dead, are believed to be buried somewhere in the sand. Eerie stuff, but again intriguing stuff. So there we have The Woman in the Dunes, and of the three, that's the one that at the moment is really calling out to me to watch. Finally, in this rather cool set from Japan, and Hiroshi Teshigahara, is The Face of Another. And this, to me, sounded quite reminiscent of the awesome film Seconds, which is an American-made film. But the story of this one, The Face of Another, it's made in 1966, and it revolves around a man who is facially scarred in laboratory fire, and he naturally seeks out psychotherapy and receives from a doctor, on top of the psychotherapy, an incredibly lifelike mask that transforms his character, and literally it is flawless. And it changes his character so much that he uses his new identity to seduce and reintegrate into society. But it's not too long before the world around him fragments, of course, as the mask that we wear become blurred with those that we create, and of course how it affects us and those around us. Again, a very intriguing sounding premise to a very cool film from director Hiroshi Teshigahara. So there we are. That's the set that, as I say, was picked up by me from watching Tyler give a little bit of his fantastic spiel, as always, on the show. And that's the series of 3 movies with extras from Criterion from Hiroshi Teshigahara. And let's now head on into the fun parts of this video, and stay tuned, guys. Okay, guys, here we go. Good, Bad, Unusual. And this is a special show dedicated in honour and respect to Tyler and Sarah. And starting off, I just want to go through 3 films very quickly. Hopefully they're films that Sarah and Tyler haven't seen or know very little bit about, or if they have seen them, look very much forward to their comments and views as to what their thoughts are on these films as well. But anyway, diving right on in, starting off with The Good. And we're going to go to some more Asian territory, and this is for a fantastic Korean movie, Shadowless Sword. Absolutely awesome, action-packed throughout. Lots and lots of cool imagery, action, special effects, some CGI, but done in a very, very good way. Lots of spilling of blood, lots of demons. Generally an all-round very cool time to be had for everybody. This is a very neat set, very tricky to open up. It's got a magnetic strips on either side. But there we have the very cool imagery. Fantastic looking ladies in this film. Some very interesting guys with some very futuristic hairstyles, shall we say, very bouffanted. But this one opens up very nicely. 2-disc affair, got the special effects, special extras disc, and of course we have the main disc which has the feature on it. And there we are, we have the Shadowless Sword. Very cool, very action-packed, and one of my favourite Korean movies, without question. Very cool stuff indeed. Next up, racing through this one very quickly, we have The Bad, and without question, Creepies is one of the bad. It's in a funny sort of way, it must be said. It's only bad because of the awful CGI effects which are unrelenting throughout the film. It's good comedy value to watch, but this particular DVD, it was released in Thailand. Don't think it's got a release anywhere else, so that speaks for itself, I think. This stars Lisa J, Eric Feiner and Jeff Ryan. Never heard of any of them. But this one, without question, it's worth watching for a giggle, but it definitely comes under the criteria heading of bad. So there we are, that's Creepies. And last but not least, we have The Unusual, and this is definitely unusual and should bring a smile to your face. Here we go. It is loud and proud, and yes, that is vibrant pink, and it is the awesome Operation Dance Sensation from Germany. I really don't want to say too much about this one other than give it my highest recommendation. It's low budget, high energy, all out action, slightly futuristic, very weird, very strange, full of incredibly bizarre characters. This pink is definitely strange. It's very much a felt and funky effect, and it's one that I think that with the greatest respect is something that Sarah should love, and if she doesn't like the film, I think she could use it as a fashion accessory for that wonderful red hair that she had recently, which was absolutely brilliant, and this should go with that fantastically. But here we are, Operation Dance Sensation. It's got an incredible ending with some almighty, mighty, huge weapons. Just take you through the little booklet here. It is German, but it does have very good English subtitles. And this is, sorry about the glare there, this is, if I can just manage, nope, can't quite manage this time, but trying to show you the almost unbelievably huge guns that are used at the end of this film. There we go. They truly are that big. They are just on a scale of about 10 to 1. So 1 human and 10 times as many humans in size difference meets up with the hugeness of these guns. But this is such a blast. It really will bring a smile to your face. It's got some of the kookiest characters you'll ever wish to meet, and it is just just such a feel-good, fun factor movie. Absolutely wild ride. Highly recommend this. Operation Dance Sensation. And that's it. There we are. There we have it. That's my tribute to Sarah and Tyler. And this has been my version, my take, my homage to Tyler and Sarah of Good, Bad, Unusual. There we go, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. See you all soon. Bye for now.